currently working in 7 of the 10 ASEAN countries, plus 4 Northeast Asian countries, and they cover pretty much all the renewables and all the fossil technologies. So we're working on coal in Philippines, and we did a little bit of coal in Laos. We're working on CCGT in Myanmar and in Indonesia. We're working on hydro in the Philippines and in Laos. We're working on offshore wind in South Korea. We're working on biomass and biogas, both of them, and waste-to-energy projects here in Thailand. And we're working on solar in most of the other countries. So quite a wide spread of technologies. Oh, plus geothermal up in Japan. Well, each country has a different regulatory regime. We're working, for example, in Thailand, where the regulations are very well explained. Everybody knows how to implement a project once they're won. If you go to, say, the Philippines, it's a lot more, we need to sign 130 signatures, or the developers do rather. If you go to Vietnam, it's the government mandates everything, explains everything, and it takes forever. But hopefully at the end you'll get there. Indonesia, the regulations change on a regular basis. So regulatory issues is unique to each country, other than there are a lot of regulations to take into account. So the other 3 countries that we're not currently working in are Brunei, which we've never worked in, and it's unlikely we will do, because it's a very small grid and very much controlled by the state. In Singapore, we've done work before. There's 100% overcapacity, so there's not going to be any major projects, and there's very competitive to do the solar projects that are being built, and they're quite small. Malaysia's we worked in before as well. And we're looking for getting into the solar projects that are being tendered there at the moment. Quite the opposite, it's taken off. Philippines obviously had a complete mad rush to build 900 megawatts when they had 500 megawatts of mandate. But now there's a sustainable basis that's going through. We're doing detailed design and EPCM projects in the Philippines. We're doing the same here. There's a plan to build another 500 megawatts of solar in Thailand alone. The Vietnamese have suddenly decided that they want to build a lot of solar and a lot of wind, and we're acting for some of the early movers in that. Malaysia's finally decided it wants to get into solar, and if you go to Indonesia, a lot of the outlying islands and the smaller grids are looking to solar. So I think solar has a very strong future ahead of it. It all depends on your appetite for risk and regulatory. Obviously, Indonesia and Vietnam have huge power demands going forward. In terms of percentage growth, you have Cambodia and Myanmar, although Myanmar has a lot of current issues to go through because the NLD is not signing any contracts, but that will change in the foreseeable future. Thailand has a lot of embedded players, and so that's a more difficult market to break into. Philippines, of course, has a lot of opportunities. It's a very fast-growing market. It needs about 22 gigawatts over the next 12 years. So the whole of Southeast Asia really needs power, and it needs a lot of investors.